In my mind, student loans are the craziest venture capital ever because you're lending money to a person who doesn't have discernible job skills and they have no ability to pay it back. And what can you take?
To take?
We'll take you back. You know, you can't take their. So, but venture capital is like unsecured investment dollars that people are investing in your venture. That's what that is. And I'll kind of go ahead and read you the definition from entrepreneur.com.
Good.
Venture capital funding is the type of funding that includes venture capital from professionally managed funds that have between $25 million and $1 billion to invest in emerging growth companies.
Okay, so what are some of the pros and cons of this one then?
The pro is if you have a high growth, high tech, high financing needs business, it could be perfect. So I mean, if you have a company where you say, it could be worth $1 billion. Then venture capital, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Because the people investing money need to have so much of a huge upside that it's worth it.
Right.
And when people invest in venture capital, I don't care what venture capital book you read. There's one called Pitching Hacks, which is good. There's a book written by Bill Draper. The name escapes me, but we can put it up on the screen. It's Venture Capital book by Bill Draper. What he talks about is that like venture capital, they have to believe that, you know, over half of the businesses they invest in are going to go belly up.
Right.
So they better make enough money on the ones that win to make it worth it. Now on the con side, what's bad about it is it's hard to get. I mean, when you tell people that you're open for business and that your business is lending money, everyone lines up.
Right.
So there are thousands of people trying to get venture capital and almost nobody can get an appointment. And then the people who can get an appointment, almost none of those people can close the deal.
Right.
So we have an episode that talks about how to do that, but it's very hard to get. You can do it.
Yep.
You can do it, but it is hard.
Right. All right, so let's move on to method number 6.
Come on.
This is the family and friends method for raising capital.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about it.
Well, I'm just going to read this to you. This is something I wrote earlier, but it says, a diligent man or woman who is totally sold out to their business and knows that they simply will not stop applying effort until they win. So they feel confident asking every human they've ever met to invest in their company.
Right.
That's what this is. And a lot of people, it's weird. It's just weird. I don't get it. I do not understand it. If this is you, we do not have to agree, but I just want to share this. I want to speak directly to you. If you're somebody watching this and you're going, I don't know what you're saying right now.
Preach it.
I don't understand how you could be so emotionally invested in a company that you would ask a bank to lend money, but you wouldn't ask your own family.
Right.
I don't get it. So because if you're sold out to the business, why would you not feel comfortable in your uncle investing in it? I mean, you know, you say, well, it's too risky. Well, then why would you ask a bank? I just think it's a deal where, like, if you're going to ask for money, I think you ask anybody. You turn over any rock you can find and look for capital there.
And I think this is something that people don't often think about because they think about raising venture capital like you just talked about, a big company that says, yes, I'm lending out money. And they're like, I'll never qualify for that, man. I'll never qualify. But not many people think about their network, right? Yeah. And we have different networking things. This is huge. You've got to have the network where you can tap into friends and family members. And you've done a lot of that with Thrive as well, right?
Yeah, and we'll talk about some things. I am a very crafty individual who spends a ton of time reading.
Yeah.
I probably log 15 hours a week in my bathtub.
Yeah.
Spence, one of our videographers, got a chance to witness me emerging from the bathtub yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, he was not in the room. He was just aware that I was getting out of the bathtub.
I'm glad we clarified that.
I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
There would have been some counseling meeting or something.
But what I want to say, though, is that like I think about things a lot, okay? Right. So there's this thing called the SEC. And their job is to make sure that it's a federal organization, to make sure that people are not out there raising money for Ponzi schemes, things where you take money from one guy to give it to another guy, you rip people off. Anyway, there's a lot of regulation with raising capital. So I have been able to structure a lot of my capital I've raised over the years as a loan, where I have to pay somebody back. Well, the company has to. In the traditional sense of raising venture capital, you have to be very careful of what you're doing and seek the guidance of an attorney, because if you do not, I don't know if you know this, but it's like federally against the law to raise more than a certain amount of money with a certain number of investors unless you have basically permission from the SEC. So it usually takes about 6 months to get through that process if you want to raise that kind of capital. So before you get too crazy raising venture capital, just Google the SEC, find some things there, or you can watch some other Thrive episodes about venture capital.
Good. All right, so what are some pros and cons here of the family and friends method?
Well, the family and friends is that, one, if you're tenacious and you honor your commitments, family is a great method.
That's what we talked about earlier, if you've built up that reputation, huh?
Yeah, I mean, family, If you went to 10 of your family members and asked them all to invest $1,000,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of businesses are started for $10,000.
Right.
Well, gosh, that's a pretty good way to do it. Now, the con is that if you're not tenacious and you're somebody who is, you're not resilient in the face of adversity, and you're going to quickly end relationships with these family members
Right.
in a very harsh and painful way.
Right.